Is ready? Thank you for joining us. My name is Erica Thomas, the Public Information Office Manager for the Lincoln Police Department. Today, we're going to share more details surrounding the ongoing homicide investigation, including the arrest of suspect Joshua Myers over the weekend. You will hear from Criminal Investigations Unit Captain Ben Miller, Assistant Chief Jason Stille, S-T-I-L-L-E, and Special Victims Unit Lieutenant Michelle Yoakum, J-O-C-H-U-M, will be available for your questions. We ask that you hold those questions until the end of their prepared statements. Captain.
Good morning. We want to provide additional information about the murder of 43-year-old Tracy Henman. On Saturday, October 25th, her boyfriend, 40-year-old Joshua Myers of Lincoln, was released from the hospital and taken to the Lancaster County Jail for first-degree murder. At this time, we believe Tracy's death is another incident of domestic violence that ended in the worst possible way, and our hearts go out to her family and loved ones. During the investigation, it was determined that all this began on the evening of Tuesday, October 21st, more than 36 hours before police entered Tracy's home. The check welfare call was made after she didn't show up for work on Wednesday or Thursday morning. Currently, we do not believe that anyone else was in the home besides Tracy and Josh from the time she died to the time officers went inside. While Myers is in custody for first-degree murder, our work is far from over. We encourage anyone with information that could assist investigators to call LPD at 402-441-6000. To remain anonymous, you can call Crime Stoppers at 402-475-3600 or report online, lincolncrimestoppers.com, or download the free P3 app. And with that, I'll turn it over to Assistant Chief Stille.
This marks LPD's sixth homicide investigation of 2025 and the fourth domestic-related murder. The other three ending in murder-suicide. We've also rescued two women from nearly experiencing the same fate in just the last month. These women were mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, partners, friends, and colleagues. None of them deserve to lose their life at the hands of someone they loved. Remember, violence is a choice by the offender, and it is never the victim's fault. Nothing justifies them being hurt, and no one should carry the blame for another person's actions. This cannot continue. We must work together as a community to protect each other, educate each other about resources, and hold those responsible accountable. For anyone experiencing domestic violence, we want to remind you that we have a variety of resources available in Lincoln, including Voices of Hope, the Friendship Home, and LPD's Victim Assistance Unit. You can visit our webpage or the websites of Voices of Hope or the Friendship Home for more information. With that, we'll take any questions that you have.
Do you know how long they had been together? And was there any sort of restraining order against him?
I'll invite Captain Miller up to answer some of those details.
There was no restraining order between the two of them, no protection order, and they had been in a dating relationship for a relatively short period of time, I would say.
So you said Tuesday, is it presumed that she died Tuesday at some point or Wednesday?
That we're still trying to determine the exact time frame on, but we know Tuesday evening she was still alive, so somewhere in that time frame, yeah.
Can you speak any more about the injuries that he ended up having and how those might have been caused?
All of the injuries that he had were self-inflicted, yeah.
Can you elaborate on what, were they knife wounds or were they something else caused those injuries?
All of the injuries that he had were, I'd say, caused by a sharp object of some sort.
Is there anything LPD is going to be doing to work to continue preventing domestic violence deaths, or if there's anything that can be done?
Lieutenant Yocum come up.
We want to continue to push our resources here in Lincoln. Obviously, we've talked about Voices of Hope and Friendship Home. They are always available to take calls from victims as well as our own victim assistance unit. We do have a special victims unit here at LPD, and we have 2 full-time investigators that work strictly with domestic violence victims, and we're adding another investigator that's going to have some domestic violence investigation responsibilities as well. So I would just encourage friends, family, victims to reach out to those resources anytime they are feeling like they are in need of those. If you have a friend or family member who you believe are experiencing domestic violence, I would certainly encourage you to reach out to those units or officers so that we can do further investigation.
So is it believed that she didn't show up to work Wednesday or Thursday and they called her family members and that's what caused the family members to call LPD?
In part, that's correct, yes. She did not show up to work Wednesday morning or Thursday morning. And family, kind of parallel to that, had concerns because they hadn't heard from her either.
Have you ever seen anything close to this volume of these types of incidents in 1 year? Certainly the 4 related deaths probably is something you haven't seen, but are you seeing more overall cases of domestic violence this year?
I don't know that we have seen more domestic violence cases overall, but certainly the violence at which we've had over the very short period of time, I don't remember a time that it's been like that.
Has this been more domestic violence cases? Has there been more domestic violence cases such as these more than the previous year, like more than last year?
I don't have the overall numbers here with us as far as the domestic violence reported cases to the police department, so I don't know that it would be more or less necessarily.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I think we kind of know, but just can you clarify what caused her neck injuries? Was she shot, stabbed, beaten, and what would have the weapon been?
We're not ready to release that just yet. We're still waiting on the final autopsy reports from the pathologist and the doctors there, so.
Okay.
Are you able to say if any weapons were recovered at the scene?
I believe there were some knives, or at least a knife that was collected from the scene.